Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is May the 4th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Let's see here. I feel like I've been living like a gremlin for like the past 24 hours, which honestly I'm okay with. I feel like I don't do this as often as I used to, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm just kind of rolling with my, off of my day off of work, and I've really just been sleeping a lot. It's kind of been feeling like a half a coma type of vibe. But I did make time to go get some pizza. So that was good. We can go ahead and get into that with the food corner from last night. I went to Domino's and got the old classic two medium pizzas. And then I went a little crazy, went a little extra, and I got the cheesy Philly tots, the cheesesteak Philly tots, whatever. All of it was good across the board. Let's see, pizza wise, I decided to go with um, pepperoni, provolone cheese, extra sauce. And then I went with on the other pizza, just the normal cheese, feta cheese, and extra sauce. And the experiment was obvious. The experiment was obviously the extra sauce bit. I don't know. I saw a pizza like that, and I was like, you know what? I am feeling a little saucy tonight. No barbecue sauce, sadly this time. Maybe I might try that extra next time. We'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. But yeah, it was interesting because it did the thing that I expected it to do, which it kind of added this like heartier flavor. It felt more filling per bite in a weird way that I don't know, because I'm used to meat doing that job, so it was weird that I was just getting sauced out. But another funny little quirk that happened, I realized my pizza was hotter for longer because of all the sauce, and I was like, huh, well, today I learned. I guess that makes sense. Maybe my dumbass should have already learned that or known that. But, like, this little interesting thing that happened there. I was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. You know how you do that little, like, thing in your mouth where you go, ha, 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 ha. That's hard to describe without a visual medium. I'm sorry. I just, like, breathed weirdly into the microphone there. So yeah, that was my food corner, and it was yummy. It was divine. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's get into some news. Got some updates for you. Yeah, actually, mostly updates, and then some other tangents. I kind of wanted just to talk about a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup. You know the vibes. Ooh, okay. Let's go. From CNN. Bodies pickup truck found in Mexican region where American and Australian tourists went missing, sources say. Three bodies were found Friday in the Mexican region where an American and two Australians have been missing for several days. Multiple sources told CNN. Authorities haven't confirmed if the bodies correspond to the three missing tourists, a source said, but a local police source told CNN that authorities found their pickup truck burnt out about 40 miles or 65 kilometers from where the bodies were found. The human remains were found on a cliff to the south of Ensenada municipality, Baja California, according to two security sources and a member of an activist group specialized in searching for missing people. American Jack Carter Road and Australian brothers Jake and Callum Robinson were reported missing on April 29th, according to Reuters, citing a Baja California prosecutor's office. The three friends are believed to have been surfing and camp on a camping trip near Ensenada town, about 60 miles south of Tijuana. Tijuana. Let's see here. Mexican officials previously said a vehicle, tents, and a cell phone had been found during searches of the area where the men were last seen. 3 Mexican nationals were being questioned in connection with the case, though it's unclear if they are suspects. So, a bit of an update there, because I know I had said last episode we talked about this, that they're searching for them. It does look like they found them, but I'll definitely keep you posted on more information that comes down the pipe. But let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Another update from the BBC. 3 arrested and charged over Sikh activists killing in Canada. 3 Indian nationals have been arrested and charged over the killing of a Sikh separatist leader in Canada, which sparked a major diplomatic row between the two countries. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, 45, was shot dead last June by masked gunmen in a busy car park in a Vancouver suburb. The diplomatic row escalated after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau alleged India's government may have been involved. Delhi strongly denied the allegation. In announcing the arrest on Friday, Superintendent Mandeep Mukher said the 3 suspects were Karan Brar, 22, Kamal Preet Singh, 22, and 28-year-old Karan Preet Singh. He said all 3 had been living in Edmonton, Alberta, where they were arrested. They have been charged with first-degree murder, court records show, as well as conspiracy to commit murder. All had been in Canada for 3 to 5 years, police said. Police added that investigations were continuing, including into connections to the government of India. So they kind of threw that out as like a blanket to kind of say, hey, like, we're not ruling out that India is involved here, but we are saying that we have the people and that they are not included currently, in like the motivations or anything. So that was kind of, I feel like, a little bit of politics from the police there, which makes sense. I get that this is a very like tense thing where it seems like everyone seems to know that this was a politically motivated thing. Like, with Singh, we've talked about, or not Singh, I'm sorry, with Nijjar. Nijjar was a Sikh separatist who publicly campaigned for Khalistan, the creation of an independent Sikh homeland in the Punjab region of India. In 1970s, Sikhs launched a separatist insurgency in India, which saw thousands killed before it was quelled the following decade. Since then, the movement has been mostly limited to countries with large Sikh populations. Nijjar had kind of been actively, talking about Khalistan and, really preaching his beliefs and, been in real opposition to, the government of India. So this does kind of add up. Also, Trudeau says he has evidence, and India is like, well, we want to see said evidence. Where's it at? Show it to us. And he really hasn't relinquished it, So, maybe understandable there, but at the same time, it does kind of feel a little bit empty. You're saying that, right? I can understand that. But this is an interesting development, right? I felt like this was worth talking about in terms of the trial. However that goes down, I will keep you posted on any major beats or, maybe just a big wrap up. But yeah, also I know that there was an assassination that took place in the U.S. last year, so I'm curious to see maybe how that goes investigation-wise. But yeah, there's that. There we go. Let's go ahead and hit the next bump. From Reuters. Oop, got a little stuff in the way there. I always hate when it does this. Got to reset. Technical difficulties. Sorry. Okay, it's not gonna. There we go. Russian troops enter base housing U.S. military in Nijjar. U.S. official says. Okay, now let's scroll down. Oh, yeah, it's gonna troll me now. Okay, here we go. Russian military personnel have entered an air base in Nijjar that is hosting U.S. troops, a senior U.S. defense official told Reuters. A move that follows a decision by Niger's junta to expel U.S. forces. The military officers ruling the West African nation have told the U.S. to withdraw its nearly 1,000 military personnel from the country, which until a coup last year have been a key partner for Washington's fight against insurgents who have killed thousands of people and displaced millions more. A senior U.S. official speaking on condition of anonymity, said Russian forces were not mingling with the U.S. troops, but were using a separate hangar at Air Base 101, which is next to Diori Hamani International Airport in Niamey, Niger's capital. To move the move by Russia's military, which Russia was the first to, I'm sorry, not Russia, which Reuters was the first to report, puts U.S. and Russian troops in close proximity at a time when the nation's military and diplomatic rivalry is increasingly acrimonious over the conflict in Ukraine. It also raises questions about the fate of U.S. installations in the country following a withdrawal. Let's see here. They kind of go to Lloyd Austin, who says, yeah, things are tense, but overall things are all right. Just kind of awkward in the short term. The Nigerian and Russian embassies in Washington did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Let's see here. Where did I really want to? I think they moved to Air Base 201 currently. So they are still an area, but I am curious if this is maybe now them getting phased out. It's also talk about did they have to hastily move out of Airbase 101? Was there anything left behind? Because that often becomes a big thing of what about all this our military stuff that we left, potential secrets or whatever. I know that got talked about when we were in Afghanistan a lot. Fox News was making the rounds. More times than not, though, that shit is very trivial because we put so much fucking money and effort into our military that we often just have an excess of fucking shit. I think the military base that we were fucking hanging out in cost more than $100 million fucking dollars. So yeah, I mean, sure, it's a valuable resource, it's important, but it's also, that shit ain't nothing to us. We're on some Dracula flow when it comes to our fucking industrial complex, So yeah, I mean, it's whatever. So we left some fucking military hardware potentially, and now it's in Russian hands. It's even sillier there because it's okay, they also have a bunch of doodads and doohickeys. They don't care. They also have gadgets. It's about the same grade usually, unless it's rotted out by corruption and stuff. I know they had some shitty takes coming out at the beginning of the Ukraine war shit. So that was kind of funny to see. But yeah, interesting kind of development here with this standoff of you have the new guys coming in, aka with Russia, the old guys going out, aka with the US. But this kind of makes sense. A lot of these, African countries have said, hey, we are gonna, or at least these military have taken over and saying, hey, we want to boot out these Western influences and we want to work with some Eastern ones. I mean, I think you're kind of just swapping out assholes, really. But I mean, hey, if you want to work with the Wagner Group and see what you get, I guess that's what you're gonna do. I don't know. I can't tell you how to handle that shit. All this to fight jihadi insurgents and whatnot. But I know we covered a quote unquote success in Mali or whatever. What was that earlier in the week, right? Yeah, but yeah, I guess you can say that's a bit of an update, but I felt like this is a bit of an aside. And now we've kind of reached the end of the episode. I know we've kind of been pinballing a little bit, whatever. And I wanted to talk a little bit music because we're in an interesting time right now with the rap hip hop sphere. It's beef time. It's a beef era, and I love it. I love it. I remember being a kid watching the Beef documentary. I think it was some shit narrated by Ving Rhames, and it was breaking down the Ja Rule 50 Cent shit, and then the 50 Cent Fat Joe stuff. I was just so enamored. And then they had a whole series because they kept stretching this shit out because they kept wanting to milk the goddamn cow. So they would go through beefs throughout history because of course there was just more of these. Of course, even going back to the Sugar Hill Gang and shit. I was like, what? These motherfuckers were beefing? what did they have to beef about? But I loved it. And I mean, of course, they go into the Tupac Biggie. That's obviously one of the most iconic ones, maybe the most iconic. People died over it. So yeah. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some Kendrick Lamar and Drake shit. let me go ahead and take my last break, and we will do a little dissection, do a little bit of a hip hop talk. I don't know, whatever. Ooh. All right. From Spin Magazine. Kendrick Lamar Drake feud escalates with new diss tracks. The feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake continues to grow at a rapid pace, with each rapper releasing diss tracks directed at the other. Last night, May 3rd, the flurry of activity followed Lamar having dropped the song 616 in LA earlier in the day, furthering, furthering a weeks long dispute. Drake's Family Matters arrived first, with the rapper warning that he is now gotta go bad. I love how like these spin magazines like word it with his message. Since the back and forth has become increasingly heated. From there, he skewers Lamar's relationship with fiance Whitney Alford, questions the parentage of one of Lamar's children, and then openly accuses Lamar of calling Tupac Shakur, the Tupac Shakur estate on Drake for copyright infringement because he used Tupac like AI shit to like in a diss. It was very weird, but I mean this has a whole timeline. It runs very far back. But let's see here. But perhaps the line that will sting the most is aimed squarely at Lamar's reputation. No, that's not it. I don't know if Spin is just doing this because they want to avoid a lawsuit. Like, what was it? Essentially, Drake says that he's avoiding getting married. He's like doing all this like other shit on the low that people don't know about, but that he also hit his wife. So it's like, oh, okay, so that's a big thing to say. That's a big rumor to drop in a diss track. But needless to say, there was 616 in LA, and like Kendrick was already kind of on a roll here. He already did the Like That track. He did the Euphoria track. That was like 6 minutes, just him like going in. Like, I mean, we thought this shit was set in, and then you have Drake's response, and it was just gonna be, okay, like what's Kendrick gonna do next? But like, I guess apparently like 30 minutes pass, and then Lamar drops a response track, and it was Meet the Grams, and he just goes in. I think more or less Kendrick Lamar won off of this shit. I mean, I think he really kind of goes at once again, just kind of goes in deeper detail why he feels that like Drake's just a bad dad. He drops a rumor that Drake not only had the one secret kid, which was Adonis, but now he has a secret daughter that he's not talking about. He throws that out there. He says like all your crew's not loyal, da 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 da. He drops the like long-standing rumor that Drake is a pedophile. So I mean, it was deep, it was heavy, and it was just so sudden. Like just like I said, I remember waking up. Like I said, I've just been kind of just really bedded in. I woke up and I just hit Twitter and I'm like, why is everyone talking about Kendrick Lamar? Like, I don't understand. And then I'm hearing in the midst of this that Drake did do a whole thing. So, like I said, there was Family Matters, that dropped, and then there was Meet the Grams right after. Very intense. But that being said, scathing rumors and allegations and shit aside, this is very interesting time in hip hop. Maybe you're not interested, you probably already tuned out, whatever, but like I do enjoy like hip hop being like this at this level. And I think like whether you like Drake or you don't, like I said before, at least I think I said before on this podcast, I kind of fell out of favor with Drake when he decided to do like weird like Megan Thee Stallion sneak disses. Like it's like especially over the content, like what it was, like that's weird. Like she really got shot and you're doing that. That's really uncomfortable. That's the kind of womanizing shit I can't get behind. That was my line from there, and I kind of was off it. But I will say, as at least a former big Drake enjoyer, Drake is at his best when he's in conflict with another rapper or other people, whatever. You know what I mean? When he's like on his back, when he's not doing the like crooner R&B stuff, I feel like, don't get me wrong, those songs are great or whatever, but I think he does his best content when he's on his ass, you know? So I think he is at least making his best tracks, but would I say he won this? No, as a hip hop purveyor, no, I would not say that. I think Kendrick Lamar definitely showed out, and once again, just talking about the tactical, like knowing that you are putting out tracks that are inevitably going to get responses, and then having immediate responses for that. You know, I was thinking to myself, like, man, I kind of miss, like, you know, kind of just once again being nostalgic. Like, I miss that, like that Kanye West, 50 Cent beef when they dropped the albums on the same day. That shit was so fun. I love that shit so much. Like, I was like, can we get back to that? And like, but then I'm thinking about it, like with this, it's like everyone's gonna be looking at the views, so that shit is relevant. That shit does matter. And to be like, hey, I'm gonna drop a thing at the top of the morning, you're gonna drop a thing that night, I'm gonna drop a thing right behind you again. Like, that was a fint and a fint and a fint. That's some Dune shit. I love it. I love it. So bravo. I just wanted to yap about that for a few minutes. We can go ahead and call it an episode there. Yeah, I really stretched the yarn, huh? Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me yap and yammer. If you'd like to support the effort financially, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com, so as Isaiah News. Free ways to help out support IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Please subscribe to the YouTube. It really helps out a lot. And then also subscribe to the Spotify or, you know, whatever platform you're listening. Hit that, you know, that button to keep up with me. And leave a cool comment. Leave a great review. Those are always nice, useful, helpful. Did I say youthful? Useful. But you will feel youthful if you do it. I guarantee it. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.